Whenever you're ready, sir.
Alright. How would you feel if you're at the beach and you're swimming with your friend and his little brother, and you noticed his little brother was drowning and he just passed out? Hi, my name is Andres Meave, and this happened to me when I was 16 years old. The lifeguards came and they performed CPR on him, and thankfully he was okay. But what if he wasn't? I immediately started to think about my little brothers, and what would happen if this happened to me? What would I do? I knew that I would be helpless and wouldn't be able to do anything to them. So I decided to take some action. I went to my school, and in the athletic department they had some ads about CPR classes. And I took those classes and became CPR and first aid certified. So I got this little card, basically says that I could perform CPR. Today in my speech, I'm going to talk to you about how to perform CPR in an adult, a child, and in an infant. But first, I'd like to talk to you about how CPR works. And secondly, I'd like to show you how to perform CPR in an adult. And third, lastly, I'd like to show you how to perform CPR in a child and an infant. So what is CPR? CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. CPR is basically a procedure in which you manually compress blood through their body and push air into someone's lungs. So breathing mouth to mouth is very important because even though you're exhaling, you're still providing their body with 16% oxygen. Compression is very important because it helps, basically what it does is it compresses blood through their heart, throughout their body, into their muscles, and more importantly, their brain. This is important because blood carries oxygen, and you need oxygen in order for the body to be alive. If a person's heart wasn't pumping, there would be no other way to pump blood throughout their body. So how do you perform CPR? First, I'm going to show you how to perform CPR in an adult. So this is my patient here. His name is Big Dog. And unfortunately, he just passed out. So first, what you have to do is get yourself and the victim out of safety, or into safety. So you have to see if that person is on the road, if there's a fire, there's an earthquake, anything. Secondly, you have to assess the situation and see if the victim is conscious. So you have to lightly tap him on the shoulder and say, "Hey, are you okay?" in a loud voice. If he doesn't respond, I take the next measure. Third, I have to call for help. And I mean literally call. You want to be able to say, "Hey, I need help. Call 911. I don't want you to get your phone out and start dialing 911 and stuff like that. That's just going to waste your time. Fourth, do not check for a pulse. Most people would check for a pulse, see if they're alive and stuff like that. All that does is just waste your time because most people would just waste your time trying to find the pulse, and it's better just to check if they're breathing. So you put your ear by their mouth, see if they're breathing. If they are, do not perform CPR because if you do, they're just going to feel bad, and that's going to make stuff worse. Immediately when you start performing CPR, you want to start with compressions. So how do you do a compression? You just put your hands straight out like this, cuff them like this, and you put them straight up. You don't want to have your arms like that, so you're going like this. This wouldn't help at all, and you would get tired very fast. You want to use your entire body in order to do compressions. And how do you do compressions? You do about 30 compressions, and they're about 100 beats per minute. If you're not a music major or anything, 100 beats per minute is basically, if you ever heard that song, Staying Alive, from like the 70s, ha, 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 Staying Alive. You just go by that song, or if you don't know that song, you could do what I do, and you just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. So you do that 30 times. Immediately, you're going to tilt their head back and then blow 2 times. So take a deep breath, blow, take a deep breath, blow. And then you want to get back into the cycle. You want to do that for about 2 minutes or until emergency arrives. Alright, next I'm going to show you what to do with the child. So with the child, CPR is basically the same thing. Oh, this is Coco, by the way. Say hi to Coco. She's unfortunately ill as well. So with the child, you still have to assess the situation, see if the victim's okay. If they're okay, tap them in the shoulder. If they're not responding, call for help. And don't check for a pulse, check their breathing, then start CPR. Now this time, you don't want to do this. This is just going to hurt them. You just want to put one hand like that and start doing compressions like this. You still do 30 compressions, 100 beats per minute. Now, anytime you do compressions, you might hear a crack or a pop or anything, and that's okay. The reason is you might break a rib or anything, but what's worse than, dying, So basically you want to do 30 compressions and then check the, you immediately want to start doing the breathing. So you breathe 1 and another time, 2. And you start doing compressions again. Now I'm going to show you how to do CPR on an infant. So this is Scruffy Jazz. He's got his little suit on, but he got a little too excited and passed out. So with Scruffy Jazz, he's an infant, and when you perform compressions on an infant, you have to do it with 2 fingers. So you place your 2 fingers on his chest, and you start doing 15 compressions per every 1 breath. So this time is a little different. So you have to do 15 compressions, and then take 1 breath, and then start doing 15 compressions again. Now, what did I talk to you about today? I talked to you about how to perform CPR, how it works. I showed you how to perform CPR on an adult, Big Dog over here, on Coco, and on Scruffy Jazz. Now, hopefully, if that ever happens to me again, and my little friend decides to drown again, I could now perform CPR on him. So, there you go. Thank you.